These are 3 things emotionally intelligent people would never do. A lot of people usually think that emotional intelligence is when you are calm or nice, right? That's what people usually think. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Well, maybe not you, but some people usually think, oh, emotional intelligence is me being nice to this person, or me being kind to that person, or me being calm. And that's not really what it is. That's not really the full definition. I'm not going to tell you the definition, but I'm going to try to explain to you in 3 points what emotional intelligence is. A lot of times you think you can explain a definition to someone, but if you don't demonstrate it or show it, they don't understand what it means to be emotionally intelligent. I broke it down in 3 segments. Emotional intelligence is when you are aware of your feelings or emotions, right? You can also read the room, how the other person is reacting. You're very observant. You can see how that person is reacting, right, off of their emotions. And also you are aware of yourself, you being around that person and how you are feeling. Controlling your emotions, controlling how you feel towards that person, right? Or controlling your emotions towards that one person, and also creating boundaries. After having that awareness and also controlling your emotions, you can actually create that boundary within that person and you. And today I'm going to talk about things that emotionally intelligent people would never do. So the first thing is they don't explain themselves to people that already made up their minds about who they think they are. Never do that. So if a person already decided how they feel about me, they're not going to try to over-explain. They're not going to try to over-talk or justify who they are to that person, because that person has already made up their minds thinking how they want to think about me, right? They already made up their minds. They already said, this is how I think of Meiji. This is how I think about so-and-so, whatever your name is. They already made their mind up about who they think you are. So you can never change a person's mind of how they think about you already, right? Emotionally intelligent people will recognize the person who isn't trying to understand them. So if someone is not trying to understand where I'm coming from, you will have that awareness to understand where that person is coming from. You will already know, like, okay, this person made up their minds about me. I know how they feel about me. I'm not going to try to over justify or explain to that one person that already made up their minds about me how I feel about them. The first thing is you have to recognize who that person is and how that person thinks of you. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, people will always show you their true colors. Either if they don't show it to you now, they'll show it to you in the future. But there are ways where they just kind of like express how they feel about you, and you already have a mindset, like a gut feeling, like, okay, this person is thinking negative about me already, so there's no need for me to overshare or over justify how I feel about them or who I am to them. You don't need to share who you are to that person, because that person already has their mind made up. An emotionally intelligent person will never try to change someone else's mind of how they think of themselves. When your emotions are high, never react. When you feel your blood boiling, you want to rage bait, don't rage bait. Hold yourself. Hold yourself. Self-control. Control. Control. You have to have control. Always. Always have control. Right? Having emotional intelligence is when you have control, self-control of your emotions, your thoughts. So when your emotions are high, you don't react. If you want to send a message or say something negative, don't send it right away. Think about it, dwell upon that message, and then react later on. But before you react, you're actually thinking about it, trying to calm yourself down, right? Taking deep breaths in and out. Then you can react later on. They usually understand that when you react fast, it usually creates regret. Once you react quickly, you're going to regret what you just did. So you always want to like take your time before reacting. And sometimes, you know, when you're sending a text, something is telling you like, nah, I shouldn't send it. Then you delete everything and you're like, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't send it. You feel me? So yeah, that's the second tip. The last tip is they don't overshare with people who haven't earned access. Basically, that means not everyone deserves your personal thought. So emotionally intelligent people will always read the room and understand who they're speaking to. So before I share something to someone, I'm not just going to see a random person and share all my personal thoughts to. Like, I remember I used to work somewhere, and this person, like, you know, at first they were giving me good vibes, like really, really welcoming, nice vibes. So I would basically open up to the person and tell them, like, you know, what I'm doing, why I decided to work at that, you know, place, you know, all my personal thoughts. I was thinking that it wasn't going to be harmful, but then it ended up being bad because that person went ahead and shared it to all the coworkers, and coworkers will come up to me and be like, well, yeah, so and so told me that this is why you're here and this is what you're doing. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought I could trust you. But like I said, I didn't know back then. I was just thinking, like, okay, I could trust this person. So you have to understand that some people, they will make it seem like you can trust them, but they have a whole mission behind their mind, like, oh, I'm trying to use this against this person. You know what I'm saying? So you always want to be careful of who you share things to. Someone that has emotional intelligence will always read the room before oversharing. So my tip with that is, before you overshare to someone that you just met, even if they feel welcoming, you want to fill that person out. You know what I'm saying? Give it a couple months, and then once you really, really build that bond with that person, then you can go ahead and overshare. Emotionally intelligent people share based on trust, not comfort. Just because you feel comfortable around that person, that doesn't mean that they deserve to know all your thoughts. So the last tip would be, never overshare. Trust over comfort. Always trust the person first. Trust over comfort. And yeah, that's the tips for today. We're going to wrap it up, and I think that's it. Emotional intelligence isn't about changing who you are. It's about knowing when to speak, when to pause, and when to protect your energy. If you start practicing these, your relationship and or your peace will change. If any of these stood out to you, make sure you comment down below which one stood out to you, and subscribe for more videos. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to share it to someone that may learn something from this video. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Bye. Oh my